Yours is.
And you know, I have Steppin with Marcus J live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. Appreciate everybody that stayed with us as we progress through the show here tonight. Couple of stories I want to get into here in the next segment here. But before I do that, I would be remiss if I did not speak to what this month is. Today, of course, being February 2nd, starting yesterday. We are now in Black History Month, and customarily every single February here on Ain't No Half Step with Marcus J, we try to do a little bit of extra stuff. We talk about famous black people, not just the usual people that you hear about. I've done interviews with folks that we will either re-air or have updated interviews, and we're efforting a lot of that stuff. So stay tuned as we progress through the month. There'll be more kind of we talk about. But one thing that I do want to dispel here is the whole thing about what Black History Month is all about. You get a lot of people who are just misinformed. The precursor to Black History Month was created in 1926 here in the United States when historian Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History announced that the second week of February was going to be called Negro History Week. This week was chosen because it coincided with the birthday of Abraham Lincoln, who we know freed the slaves. Got issues with that, but fact is fact. His birthday is on February 12th. And the famous abolitionist and freed slave or escaped slave and educator Frederick Douglass, his birthday is on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Both of which dates in the black community during those days were celebrated since the late 19th century. From the event's initial phase, primary emphasis was placed on encouraging the coordinated teaching of history of American blacks in the nation's public schools. The first Negro History Week was met with lukewarm response, gaining the cooperation of the Department of Education of the states of North Carolina, Delaware, and West Virginia, as well as the city school administrations of Baltimore and Washington, D.C. Despite this far from universal acceptance, the event was nevertheless regarded by Woodson as one of the most fortunate steps ever taken by the association, and plans for a repeat of the event on an annual basis continued going forward. The expansion of Black History Week to Black History Month was first proposed by the leaders of the Black United Students at Kent State University in February of 1969. The first celebration of Black History Month took place at Kent State 1 year later in February of 1970. In 1976, as part of the United States Bicentennial, the informal expansion of Negro History Week to Black History Month was officially recognized by the United States government. President Gerald Ford spoke in regards to this, urging Americans to, quote, seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history, end quote. And so I wanted to go ahead and kind of put that history out there, because too often you get people who say things like, they give us the shortest month anyway, or, we should have Black History Month every month. When you understand the history, when you know better, you do better. And one of the most ignorant things I've ever heard a person say is they only give us February. It's the shortest month anyway. You need to know that history. You need to understand why it's February, and you need to understand why it expanded from a week to a month. If February, or should I say, if January had Frederick Douglass's birthday in it and Abraham Lincoln's birthday in it, we just celebrated Black History Month last month, people. That's the reality. It ain't got nothing to do with it being 28 days and occasionally 29. So let's check ourselves with regards to that. So let's kind of talk a little bit about Black history. Just give me a quick statement, and I got a story that I want to kind of share with the listeners that's based around Black History Month in the D.C. area. But Aaron, I know you well enough to know that you knew that history that I just dropped on the listeners. Tell me, when you think about Black History Month, what do you think about?
Unfortunately, Black History Month is a lost art now, because we when I say that with our youth, and just a brief story. A few weeks back, the movie Selma, of course, came out, and went to see it, and it was during the daytime, and it was a pitiful showing for us because you know, okay, it's the daytime. Might have been about 20 people in there, and besides myself, who I was with, and maybe probably 3 other folks were black. The rest were like middle-aged baby boomer, you know, white folks. And you know, and just you know, just seeing, you know, what we do, far as when movies come out now is if it's not Tyler Perry or Kevin Hart, we don't go see it. You know, and it's like it's almost we're afraid to educate ourselves now. It's like it's almost like a disease, like the hives. Oh, I don't want it. You know, I don't want to educate myself. I don't want to learn no history, no history. And I've actually heard, I've been in the presence of hearing people saying, well, you know, that Selma's okay, but I don't want to see that. You know, and it's one of them things that is again, it's almost an obligation and responsibility as a not only just a black person, but as an American to see stuff like that. So I say all that to say this, you know, when I was coming up, you know, I'm 44 years old. When I was coming up to school, you know, I got the paragraph of Martin Luther King around Black History Month, and of course, never Malcolm X, but you know.
They wasn't having that.
Not at all. You know, and Martin Luther King paragraph was, you know, black preacher from Georgia. He did a Have a Dream speech, and everybody all good and happy now. Yeah. You know, that was Black History Month.
That's all you got.
Yeah, but nowadays they don't even do that.
Right.
You know, you got kids that 15, 14 years old or younger don't even know who Martin Luther King is. And I was actually working with in the school system years ago, probably about 8, 9 years ago, and I had a kid. He was probably around about 15 years old, and I made him look. It was on after King holiday, I believe. I made him look at a PBS documentary on King, which they had like all day. PBS does a wonderful documentary. It comes on Martin Luther King holiday. So anyway, I had a kid that say to me, you know, oh, Mr. Turner, I thought racism was over after Martin Luther King.
Right.
It's like he just cured racism.
Right.
And it's over with.
Right.
You know, so that's the ignorance we dealing with. And, you know, it's our responsibility. You know, we put so much emphasis on, you know, iPhones for our kids, the hottest tennis shoes, and, you know, all of that type of stuff instead of putting some stuff in their heads. It's cool to have that, but don't have that and they don't have nothing in their heads.
Right. Right. So. Ruben, what you think?
I mean, I think our people have just truly forgotten what Black history means. Or just, I mean, as is in all, you know. It reminds me of the Martin Luther King, not special, but on the Boondocks when Martin Luther King came back to life. You know, he was in a coma and he came back and, you know, he didn't understand what had happened to the world, you know, that he worked so hard to.
It blew his mind.
Yeah, to fix. And then the dude's crazy, and the last thing he says is, I'm moving to Canada. You know, and it's the crazy part about that is, you know, I really feel like the kids of today don't understand history. So, you know, basically what that was saying is like, you know, you don't give a crap about history. Why should I give a crap about history?
No, I can dig it.
And, you know, it's one of those things where I feel bad. I feel bad for them because, you know, instead of learning about, you know, how things were made and the creativity of black people or just people in general, you know, they're trying to memorize something for a test, which is not really, you know, learning. It's just memorizing. It's sad.
Shout out to our sister Melanie in the Shy checking out. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. Thank you for checking us out, Melanie. You said you was gonna listen, and there you go. So appreciate it. I want to kind of move into this story coming out of Howard University. I'm gonna play a clip. It's about a 2-minute clip that kind of sets it up. I'm gonna play it, and then I want you guys to comment on it. Check this out.
Parents are furious tonight after what they're calling a sudden surge in teachers resigning or being fired at Howard University Middle School in the district. We sent D.C. Bureau Chief Sam Ford to search for answers.
As students came to school this morning, so did some of their parents, asking what's going on at Howard University Middle School and why are so many teachers quitting or getting fired in the middle of the school year.
As parents, we just want to get some answers. We deserve to know what's going on.
After all three of the school's social studies teachers gave their 2 weeks notice last week, parents say that the new principal, Angelique Blackman, confronted all three with pink slips yesterday in front of students.
While students are still present in the classroom. How unprofessional. But these children are crying. They said they couldn't say goodbye. The teachers are upset. The students are upset.
They were giving to them in front of our children. And I think that our children do not deserve to see that type of behavior.
Howard Middle is a math and science public charter school on the campus of Howard University. Some parents describe the principal, who came from Atlanta, as abrasive.
The school administration does not want the social studies teachers to teach African American history. We are on the campus of HBCU. We need to know our culture. The school is 90% African American.
So far, we've not reached any of the teachers, nor has the principal responded to our messages.
And they were all escorted out by police officers because they were trying to teach us things about our African heritage and stuff like that.
And we've been able to get no comment at all from the school, but one of the parents told us that the principal had adopted the Montgomery County curriculum, and so she didn't want teachers talking about things like Kwanzaa and Marion Barry. We don't know exactly how many teachers have quit or been fired, but the parent told us that 3 of her daughter's 8 teachers are substitutes. Reporting from Howard University's campus, Sam Ford, ABC 7 News.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. All right. We got a lot to react to with that. But before we do that, of course, I got to pay homage to my sister who just walked in the door, my co-host. You hear her on this show and on Saturdays with Conversations from Your Sisters with SY and Lissa P every Saturday at 3 p.m. I got my sister, S.Y. Butler. What's up, baby? Flip the switch on the mic there. There you go.
Microphone check.
There you go. I got you now. How you doing?
Good, babe. How are you?
Doing good. You're doing okay, rather, I should say. So it's good to see you.
You know you look good, right?
Thank you, darling. These are new too. I just got them. So yeah, I just got them.
Baby.
Yeah, my sister
now,
always
y'all.
makes sure that she lets me know my glasses, how she can tell my mood. So I guess I'm, melancholy since these aren't very dark tonight. So
that's all right. I'll see you, baby.
Too much. All right, Aaron. I'm gonna save Ruben for last on this one because I feel like he's gonna have some very strong opinions, and I want to be able to have him react to ours.
Okay.
So you up first on this one, man? What you think?
This is real foolish, and it goes back again. It actually goes back again to what I was saying before of how we are not teaching our kids. And I have a personal story, another personal story as well. I have a daughter that's in Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta, and I just asked her, just the recent holiday, what did you do? I mean, because you're in Atlanta, birthplace of King and different things, and they did the regular like pep rally, basketball game, or what have you, but they didn't really you would think they would shut the campus down to celebrate.
Yeah.
And just
Morehouse.
Morehouse right there and everything, and it was nothing. It was just a regular day. They didn't have classes. Right. So going back to this once again is just like it seems like we're just afraid to educate ourselves, and it's crazy. Yeah. It's like we feel that we educate ourselves some way, and then now with this story with at Howard University, I mean now it's like the masses, like they're scared for us to educate ourselves, which has always been
right.
But now it's even worse because you got so much in our community that don't even want it.
Right.
They so dead and mentally they don't even want the education.
Right.
Because once again they got this thing of Oh, well, we're fine because, we can go into any store, we can buy anything, whatever.
Right.
But, it's just the game has changed. That's all.
Right.
But we still got way more work to do.
Big Rope.
Allegedly teaching black history. I guess the problem I have with this is these people possibly couldn't get fired for any other reason except for teaching black history, allegedly teaching black history. The fact that none of them will talk, the fact that the principal really ain't talking, kind of bothers me. I fear a couple things. I feel like if this is legit for a black woman to fire people who are talking about black history, it's a little crazy. However,
it's got you fired up over there.
I mean, I'm really trying to have a moral ground because this article really isn't giving me much, and they don't have much. I feel like they're grasping at straws, and it's a media trick to intentionally get you fired up and get these parents fired up because the parents don't know why they got fired, and the teachers aren't talking. They're escorted by police. They're not talking. The principal really isn't talking. So I guess, and then being a public charter school at that means money. That means a lot of money. And, you can't do something like this, like willy-nilly. Oh, I think I'm going to fire 5 teachers today. Maybe at
there's got to be more to it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe at a public school.
Right.
Not a charter school. You just can't fire people at a charter school. It don't work like that because it's so much money from the government coming in,
right,
and stuff like that. I mean, and yeah, and then let's just be honest. If she did fire them because they were teaching black history, well, she's got to be the stupidest person on the planet because they're in the middle of HBCU.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't fire teachers for teaching black history in the middle of an HBCU.
One of the parents said the principal told them that they had adopted the Montgomery County Public Schools curriculum and didn't want teachers talking about Kwanzaa and Marion Barry. When I see something like that, it kind of blows my mind. That's why. What you got?
I have a question.
Okay.
I was reading the little article here, and it says that they were fired for teaching beyond the school curriculum.
Okay.
Okay. That was the principal that was there?
Yeah, that picture's her.
Yeah.
So put it in a book because 9 times out of 10 they say we're not going to read it. Principal included, I guess, in this case. I don't know who she's afraid of, that you can go one step beyond. What could she possibly teach that should not be in your curriculum?
Well, and
she would fire them.
I'm gonna jump on that one.
Before you do, let me get a couple of comments.
Okay.
Melanie said if the board has white folks on it, then they have to be silent because they don't want to upset that money, which is similar to what you said there, Ruben, a minute ago. Joy is listening. Thanks for checking in, Joy. Joy is at a loss for words. She don't even know what to say about this one. Ruben, go ahead.
Now, I guess to SY's question, and let me make sure. Can you repeat it for me? Make sure I get it right, because I thought I knew what it was, and then Mark, the comments kind of threw it.
What could she teach that's
Yes.
not in the school curriculum?
Now, unless they were completely going out of the realm, because they got to take tests too, just like everybody else. And if the children, yes, they might have been teaching the children stuff. However, if they're a month behind, I can see that, because if you don't pass your test, if these kids don't pass their test, they lose their money. It's all about the money. This is a money play. This isn't about anything else. And the fact that I'm mad about is the fact that this alleged getting fired for allegedly teaching black history, that's a bunch of BS. And that's straight BS. And it's here to get us upset and stuff like that. And trust me, when I read this the first time, when I saw that, I was like, ooh, you keep doing that.
You can tell by how the headline was set up to be incendiary to get you upset.
But as you read the article, something's not right. This is something else is in play here.
Well, yeah.
Why those teachers got fired, and I will put somebody's last $5 on it.
Not yours.
No, I ain't giving you no money. That it's about the money for the charter school. I will almost guarantee it's about the money for the charter school.
The crazy part, somebody said it, I think it might have been Aaron, that said that it's a school that's right there at Howard University, one of the most legendary, accredited, popular, fill in your adjective, black schools, on the planet. I mean, I remember when I was researching HBCUs, Howard was one of the first places that I came, that I visited. I ended up choosing Virginia Union University, and but Howard would not have been a bad choice for me. It's a black college, and so I just have a hard time understanding how the black campus that has this charter school, and we got a problem with teaching black history. Melanie's continued. She said, this is what happens when you depend on the government to fund. The alumni does not fund their own school.
And I was getting that.
Yep.
I was going to go that route.
Yep. So Melanie, you and Aaron are right. You are right on task with him.
If I may interject one more.
Please.
It says here that they adopted the Montgomery County Public Schools. Now, are they saying Montgomery County, Virginia public school system?
I'm guessing they're
because
probably
if that is the
Montgomery
case,
up there.
I completely understand now, because I'm not saying Washington D.C. schools are bad. Mm-hmm. I'm saying Montgomery County schools might be a little better. Mm-hmm. Just saying, I'm gonna put it out there. I don't know either. You can get mad at me, just call, get mad at me. I don't care. But and in Kwanzaa and the late Marion Barry, real talk, Marion Barry is not gonna be on any test. And the fact that dude was mayor for as long as he was and then got reelected, that's not even something you need to really like. Oh, Marion Barry was a great. Whoa, he was also a crackhead. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't really want to be educating kids on, hey, you can be a crackhead and be the mayor.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you bring that up, because I got into it with somebody, a person that's a part of Legacy Internet Radio actually. But we kind of got into it because we were talking about Joe Morrissey, who is a local politician here, who, and I won't get into it because we talked about it before, but the short version for the new listeners is Joe Morrissey got convicted of having sex with an underage person, and he was convicted and he got house arrest. But he was a local delegate, or he was an elected official, resigned his position, and then re-ran for the position that he just resigned from, and won. But the thing is, here's the kicker. Or as the young kids say, here's the head crack. Here's the head crack. The head crack was, because he's on house arrest, he had to leave and get back to jail by like 8 o'clock, and he didn't find out that he won until later that night from his jail cell.
Right.
Really.
Right.
And so when we talk about Marion Barry to me, while I get him, he's legendary. He was a civil rights guy, and everything he did is he's like Barry Bonds to me. Everything you did before that first time you shot up, he was pookie. You was great. Right. Once you shot up, you tainted your legacy completely.
You do.
He went to jail for it, came out, hey,
and won.
Ruffle man again. We like you. Oh, we want to crackhead in the governor's
You know what
office.
that speaks to for me? It speaks to a lot of times people. And I don't want to get too far, of course. I think we've done what we can do on this particular story. So I'll make this last comment and we'll move on to the stupid criminals. But I think a lot of times people vote for name recognition. And you don't know how many times you get somebody who will call you up and say, you got in, because they think you're in the know. So they'll call you up and they'll be like, yo, it's an election. Who you think I should vote for? Do your homework. Figure out who you're supposed to vote for. I know who I want to vote for. Do you know who you're going to vote for? And it ain't just because the person's got a name. There was a Republican poll that came out last week that had Mitt Romney, it had Huckabee, it had Jeb Bush, it had one other person who's Sarah. No, it was Sarah Palin.
Okay.
And it had Chris Christie. And the name, the way I laid it, because I see it in my head, the picture. The way I laid it out was the most amount of people votes based on that poll. So Romney was out polling everybody else, and Chris Christie came in last. That tells me that people know on a national scale who Mitt Romney is. Huckabee is still on television. Jeb Bush has the name Bush, and Sarah Palin is Sarah Palin.
Right.
But the most viable name in that list is probably, if you're a Republican, is probably Chris Christie.
Chris Christie.
Which I would pick before any of those other fools.
I absolutely would pick before all of them. So would I.
Right.
But the point is, because he's the New Jersey governor, he doesn't have the name recognition on the national scale.
New Jersey has a horrible stigma around the country.
Well, they do, but you know, from what I've been able to gather, if you are a person who is education friendly, meaning you're a teacher, you're in a union, things like that, you absolutely despise the guy. But everybody else seems to have a generally favorable opinion for him with regards to him actually being a tolerable Republican. Well, you know, because he, you know, New Jersey is a blue state, and he's a Republican in a blue state, and obviously he's a 2-term Republican governor in a blue state, so that somebody likes him.
Yeah.
You know, so all of my people, they all tell me they hate him and they don't like him.
But
you
they
know,
keep voting him in.
but yeah, exactly.
Somebody,
you know,
somebody put him
the
in.
devil you know.
You know, he's a moderate.
Yeah,
He's a
somebody
moderate Republican, and a lot of them don't like President Barack Obama because he's a moderate Democrat. So they're a little closer to the middle. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio, with a flagship show, of course, right here on our station. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial to be down with us. If you're listening to us, it's a good bet you got TuneIn going. You got that application on your smartphone, on your tablet, on your computer, or some sort of thing. Or you could be listening to our replays on YouTube. Check out all of our social media areas to get more information on how to listen to this show after the airing, which of course we have begun re-airing the show immediately following the live show. So we have been doing that, but you can listen to the show broken up in clips. You can listen to what we talked about the Super Bowl earlier. You can listen to how we started talking about Black History Month, and you can listen to Big Rube lead us in the roundtable, which is in the segment immediately following this one right here. Ain't no how stepping with Marcus J. Stupid criminals. It's 2 of them. One of them is from my hometown of Jersey City, New Jersey. One of them is from my hometown, Jersey City, New Jersey. So if y'all listening back home, y'all got to tell me about what y'all think about this jackass. And then the first one I'm going to do is the one from here in Virginia, in my home state versus the state that produced me. I'm getting this one from 12 on Your Side, which is the local NBC affiliate here. It's out of Manassas, Virginia, which is in the Northern Virginia area, just south of Washington, D.C. Police say a Virginia man impersonating an officer pulled over a car being driven by a real cop. Prince William County Police say 27-year-old Sean Michael Robinson of Alexandria pulled over an off-duty officer Thursday morning. Police say Robinson was driving a white Crown Vic close behind the off-duty officer's car around 1 a.m. Thursday. Police say the real officer pulled over when Robinson turned on a spotlight attached to his car. Instead of getting out, police say Robinson pulled alongside the officer's car, which we know they never do that. Police say Robinson sped off when the officer quickly identified himself. Police later issued a warrant for his arrest, and Robinson turned himself in. He's being held without bond on a charge of impersonating an officer. It's unclear if he has an attorney or not. That's why I need you on this one first. Don't awe. Don't you awe. Don't you awe.
What a stupid little asshole. I mean, are you serious?
Yeah, man. We serious, man.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's straight up. Oh, what the hell?
Stupid criminals.
He's about as stupid as all stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah,
Stupid.
he's gonna deserve what he gets.
I mean, we've seen this happen before. I mean, it's not the
Just
first
stop
time.
being dumb, though. Just stop
It's not the first time this happened. Joy said, "Why?" Aaron, what do you say?
I mean, why would you do that? I mean, what? I mean, it's why would you do that
with 2 O's, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's no words for that. I mean, I can't even get the words out. Why would you do that?
I'm gonna let Big Rube close out this particular.
On,
so I'm gonna make my comment now because I'm gonna let him make the last word on this one. We ain't gotta spend no time on this dude. I mean, really, I mean, we've seen situations where people do this because they are looking to try to attract unsuspecting women to assault them or rob them, things of that sort. And I've always been taught, even as a young Marcus J., that if you do get pulled over, particularly at night, make sure you are pulling over to a well-lit area, even if you are convinced that is, in fact, a cop. You still want to try to go somewhere and be safe. And if you got a real honest cop, they'll understand and they'll appreciate your efforts to maintain your safety and theirs. And so I'm teasing Big Rube by making my comment a little longer than I normally would, because ain't really much that you can say. Ain't really much you can say about this one. But go ahead, Ruben. What you got?
Natural selection. That's it. If you don't know what natural selection is, I implore you to go to Wikipedia and look it up, because you will completely agree with me once you find out what that is. Because that dude is clearly, I think the next dude's probably the same way. So I'm going to let you go ahead and continue, Marcus.
And speaking of Jersey City, we getting some love from our brother Hakeem. He's checking us out, and there's your Hakeem.
What's up?
Hakeem, he's going back to what we talked about a minute ago about Christie. He said it's because Republican Party is more conservative, and those guys represent those values. Christie is moderate, so he's not popular in their party, which is his position with regards to why those polling numbers are a little bit lower. I actually mentioned that he is a moderate, so I somewhat agree with you, but then I do disagree with regards to his profile just not being as large as those other folks, because you got the guy that ran twice and lost. You got the guy whose name recognition, Bush. You got the guy who's still on television every week, Huckabee, who's making a point of being seen more and more and more right now, because we know he's going to run. He ain't going to admit it yet, but he's going to run.
No doubt.
And then there's Sarah Palin, who's
the crazy lady.
Well, can see Russia from her house. So that's the deal with that. So he's saying what's up to you, SY. Hakeem is saying peace to you. He's saying what's up to the crew. And 502 baby, that's his shout out to our brother K-Dub. All right, this next one, and this will be the last one in the segment before we take our next break and get ready for the round table being led by your man Big Rue. I'm getting this one from NewJersey.com. Jersey City man calls in 14 false fire reports and faces an unprecedented penalty. He's calling in 14 false fire reports. Think about that for a second. Now, Ruben, I want you on this one last again. A city resident, and this is Jersey City, my hometown. Jersey City resident is facing unprecedented legal action from the city fire department for calling in numerous false fire reports. Vincent Garrison, 33, called in false reports of fire 14 times over an 8-month period between April and November of 13. Garrison was arrested and pleaded guilty to 3 counts of false public alarm in Hudson County Superior Court in August and agreed to pay $13,500 in restitution. While the city received its first payment this month, the money will go towards fire prevention, firefighter training, and the purchase of new equipment. Garrison was also sentenced to 5 years probation. This marks the first time in Jersey City's history the fire department is taking legal action against a resident for calling in false fires. Making our city safer is not just about bringing crime down and putting more police in the street, but it's also about educating our residents on fire safety and how dangerous just one false fire call can be. Whenever a false fire call is called in, firefighters are diverted from real emergencies, endangering the public and costing taxpayers significantly. According to the press release, starting in April of 13, Garrison began calling 911 and reporting incidences at multiple addresses along 2nd Street in downtown Jersey City. He would report either smoke coming from a building or a building collapse, both of which are extremely serious conditions. For the next 8 months, Garrison would make the calls from his cell phone, a payphone, or another cell phone. In 1 month alone, he made 6 false reports at 2 addresses on 2nd Street. I think I said, we don't need to hear no more about this. SY, once again, you're up first.
SMH. WTF. Really? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's worse, him or the other one. I really don't.
I got an opinion about that. I want to hear Aaron's opinion first, though.
He has no woman. He has no woman. There's no one in the world. He has no woman. I'll go big. He has no woman. because a woman would have checked him. Like, what are you doing?
That is
no,
classic.
I'm looking at this because your free time, you just picking up the phone, calling it. No, I mean, really?
Maybe he likes the operator's voice.
Said just took a shot at me and whatnot. Said just took a shot at me, and it's good. I'm glad he took a shot at me since I seem to take a shot at him every week.
Oh.
He said that it must be a northerner thing. That's all right. Pennsylvania's safe. That's why.
See, I was getting ready to.
You gonna bond
Back
with
Wrap
me?
you
up
up.
PA, right?
Yeah.
I was getting ready to back
He's
you
gonna
up.
bond with me. I got to figure out a way to pick on you about Pennsylvania every single
There-
show, and
there's
that was
no
the
way.
only one I had.
There's
I'm
no
sorry.
way.
I'm sorry. Said I took a good shot at you last week, so I deserve that one. I deserve that one.
I want you to remember today, all right, and mark my words. I'm going to get you back.
Yeah, she gonna get you back. She gonna show some love for Pennsylvania.
PA
In this joint, yeah.
How do you even make that? You can't make that with your fingers.
I love her. I love her. She's giving me the look of death right now. She's giving me like the mama face right now.
That's why
Like,
you
I feel like I should be afraid, very afraid. But yeah, this dude, man, maybe it is a northerner thing. Seeing as though we got a firehouse on every other corner, and it takes y'all. It is firehouses every 20 miles here in Virginia. It's just so spread out and rural.
2 in the city.
But in all seriousness, as far as this dude, I mean, I don't even really know what to say. I mean, Aaron, you said it very honestly and comedically that the dude must not have a woman. Like, I just don't understand what's going on in your mind that makes you think that this is appropriate. But this is right up there with people who call the police because somebody stole their weed or they just got they got idiots. Jacked in a crack in a crack incident or I saw one where the prostitute called 911 because the John didn't pay her.
Right.
So she was being robbed.
So these things, that's why. See, these things,
money up front. That's why.
These things are, I guess I should say customary, but somewhat common. But 14 false reports, Ruben. 14 false reports.
I need to know the name of his lawyer because he only got charged for 3 counts out of 14.
Yeah.
3 counts? Yo, he had a great lawyer. Or that public defendant is the bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, he got paid $13,000, but I mean, they should have been like, okay, $13,000. All you can have is a track phone. You can't own a phone in your house.
He called from his own phone.
Yeah, because he's an idiot. And on top of all that, if we see you within 500 feet of a payphone, you're automatically arrested. Real talk. I mean, this is natural selection at its greatest. It's like it's one thing to just be a complete idiot,
right?
But to call from your own cell phone that you pay a monthly bill on that has your name on it that goes across the call ID,
right?
Even if you got call ID blocked, it's the government, man. They can trace anything.
They know.
Something's wrong.
It's this dude.
Something's wrong.
Another reason why going to Jersey sounds like a real bad idea for me.
Man, y'all should have a contest. Y'all should have a contest at the end of the year about the top 10.
Top 10. Because we run into them, man.
That's a lot to remember.
We run into them.
Yeah, but mark him down.
that dude right now is like number 1 strong.
Yeah, started the list.
That dude's number 1 strong. I mean, the other guy who impersonated a cop and pulled over a cop, that's just bad luck.
I mean, he's stupid, but this guy here, I mean,
really stupid.
I mean, you shine the light in somebody's car. What's
stupid? But he pulled up next to him, and then when he realized he had a cop, he peeled
I guess he must have thought it was a girl. What's up, girl?
Oh snap! That's crazy.
And the dude was like, "Yeah, you can go ahead and pull over right there. I got you." True. Oh, like I didn't get your plates.
Yeah, that's how they got him. Ain't no how Steppin with Marcus J live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. At this time, we always profile a missing and/or exploited child. Tonight is no different. Doing it a little bit different tonight at the end of a segment instead of at the beginning. This missing child is Ania Randleman. She is from Danville, Virginia. She's been missing since January 9th after leaving home for the bus stop but never arriving to school. They say that it appears Ania left home with extra change of clothes and could be considered a runaway. Her mother says she regularly took extra clothes to school in order to change after gym class. The mom, Doretha Randleman, said that friends and family have not had any contact with young Anaya since January 9th. She's 15 years old. She's 5'5", weighs about 120 pounds. She has brown hair with red and blonde highlights and brown eyes. If you have seen Anaya or have any information about her whereabouts, we're asking that you call the Danville, Virginia Police Department at 434-799-5111 or contact the National Center for Missing and or Exploited Children on their website missingkids.com or contact them at 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. We're going to take another break. And when we come back, Big Rube, Roundtable. We got SY. We got Aaron Turner. And we got the co-host of the night in his next segment, the Roundtable. Big Rube is here with us. Ain't no half stepping, Marcus J. Be back in a few minutes.